Hi there. Welcome to the show where y'all are actually paid to listen to. It's kind of like an autism sort of like, you're paying me. You're all my paid listeners because you're paying. This is like sort of like the state's paying for you. It's like a sort of disability insurance kind of thing. Greatest show on the internet too, by the way. Um but today we have a very wholesome guy with us. Wholesome guy in the chat. He also likes feeling. I don't
You
know.
shouldn't fucking call me that.
What?
Okay, listen.
What? You don't want to be
I,
called the wholesome
I
feeler? What?
it depends.
It depends.
It depends. Oh, listen. Not everybody. You don't refer to everybody by the same name. You gotta like relax. It's a title. There's a lot of things. A lot of people didn't want to see me on this podcast.
There's be
37%. I think, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly,
yeah.
37% said no.
Yeah,
And
you're
to my friends, my family, all the people on Twitter, go follow at Secant Segment at twitter.com, also known as the Wholesome Fior.
um well
And
great. I
a
was
lot of
gonna
people, didn't want me on there. To all the haters, I say, fuck you. I did it. I'm on a podcast now. I've
Yeah.
never been on a podcast before.
Oh shit, is this your first podcast?
Yeah, because I live in a real part of the world where I don't get paid money to talk into a microphone, so I'm
Hey,
like a real job.
I am getting paid jack shit to do this right now. All I have is like 3 subscribers on Patreon. Still
That's
working to
what's
grow that,
up.
by the way. Subscribe to the Maoist Self-Help Column Patreon. But,
Yeah, more like the Morgan self-help Patreon. It's the
yeah.
charity fund.
Yeah,
Hey
it's the
up.
charity fund. That's how you're funding. That's like the state. That's how, like, instead of getting, like, disability for being, like, autistic as shit, I just have a Patreon to fund that. We're
Yeah,
privatizing. We're privatizing that shit.
it's like the fucking it's not the jizya tax, but it's the charity tax in Islam. It's
Yeah.
but like with like being from Chicago,
Yeah. Okay,
is that
okay.
you pay for Patreons.
Okay. Everybody gives me shit because like, oh, you have a podcast in Chicago. I'm not a fucking New Yorker, at least. New Yorkers, bitches in Bushwick. Those are the people who normally have podcasts. I'm unique. I also live South Side, so I'm really unique.
I'm
I'm not like the rest of them. I'm
I mean, what's it called? I feel like you're like like you're at like the foothills of them though.
uh
Like you can feel like wafting in. It's like a pie on a windowsill
yeah.
for you.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, that's what's it's gonna happen. I'm gonna like the pie scent. I'm gonna like float towards it, and then I'm gonna end up being like a lesbian in Bushwick or something in 3 years. That's what's gonna happen.
I mean, it's like chill. I mean, I've never been to New York. I really want to visit New York.
You should. It's cool. It's a cool
Yeah,
city.
no, I
And
don't.
I shit on Bushwick, but that's literally where I stayed when I was in New York, to a fucking hostel in Bushwick, which is like I shouldn't make as much fun of it as I do because I'm like that's literally like a big part of my experience.
No,
That
I mean, like that's the thing is that like a lot of like the woke cities. Those woke cities are like pretty good cities.
Oh
Like
yeah.
Austin is Reddit City. But I like Austin like
Okay,
decently enough.
okay. So I fucking hate Austin with a passion for many reasons, but I need to know like what attracts you to Austin? Like what do you like about Austin specifically?
The one time I went there to go see a Blade concert for free, and I got free parking because I parked next to a church. And it was Sunday, and um, I haven't been to Austin a lot. But it probably has. It's just like probably the most walkable city in Texas. And for that, that's like pretty fucking cool.
I mean,
The issue
I
is that
guess.
traffic sucks and housing prices are crazy because Austin copied like essentially Californian homework for like city design of
Oh
like,
yeah.
yeah, we're just not gonna like build new houses anywhere
Well,
at all.
isn't like renting getting cheaper in Austin now though too, which is really
Uh,
funny.
yeah, I think they put a cap on it or something. If
Oh
I like a rent cap,
yeah, and
and
before Greg Abbott reverses that within the next
yeah,
year, but
that's the thing is that the city of Austin is like the most politically potent thing you can do in a in the city of Austin isn't to vote Democrat or whatever. It's to like get elected bureaucrats in charge that are like pro independence from Texas.
yeah, no, yeah,
Um,
everybody makes fun of like, Texas is so cool because you have all the LARPers who are like, oh, Texas Republic, but nobody goes in. There's like layers to this shit, because
yeah,
then there's
yeah.
like guys in Texas who want to secede from Texas, and like, so I imagine it's gonna turn into like an East Germany West Germany situation where you're gonna like divide Texas between like maybe like East and West, where like West Texas becomes independent, East Texas stays, but then Austin is just then divided between East Austin and West Austin, something like that. That could maybe be the case, and then like,
The
but
city, unironically, the city they would do that to would be Dallas Fort Worth because Dallas is the woke one and Fort Worth is the
oh
chuddy
yeah,
one.
that's true.
Uh,
That is true.
uh,
They got what? Maybe a South Texas North Texas divide would make more sense actually.
a little. I mean,
And then yeah, and then you just have landlocked fucking fascist nation, which is
yeah.
funny as shit.
Well, the issue is that like Texans are don't know how to map anything ever. So North Texas isn't like colloquially isn't like the panhandle as most, which is the tippy top of the state.
Yeah.
Most people would think that's North Texas, but it isn't. It's the panhandle of North Texas is where like Dallas is.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't understand, like the regions of Texas confuse me a little bit cuz like I associate like I don't know, like I know Amarillo's different from like the Permian Basin, but for some reason I associate the two cities together that because it's like that whole huge ass area feels like one region to me for some reason, even though I know it's not and I don't know how to feel about it. It's just sometimes I get confused like okay, how the fuck do you like divide Texas regionally? Because like then it's like where does College Station go in Texas? Like is it like
College Station goes into hell.
that's what's up. That's what's up actually.
I fucking hate A&M.
Isn't
I have like
isn't A&M like a chud college too? Isn't
oh
that the whole
A&M's
thing?
massively a chud college. Also, by the way, massively addicted to PCP. Huge PCP.
Are they huge PCP heads in
Yes,
A&M?
in College Station. Yes.
Why?
Uh,
Do you just like their history,
I don't.
or are they just like so fucked up from living in College Station that they're just like, yeah, I guess we're gonna do PCP now.
I think it's just the latter. To be honest, it's just
Damn,
that like
damn, that sucks.
yeah, no, I had several friends. Pretty much, if you're going to college in Texas, like, and you're not going to like some rich private school or whatever,
Uh,
uh, is to go to your local like University of Texas place, which University of Texas is like pretty is pretty good. Or you go to either Tech, which is like a little bit Hitler, and then A&M, which is cult-like.
oh,
It is like I don't know how much the myth of like the cult of the Aggie has really permeated outside of the state of Texas, but no, those fuckers are obsessed with A&M.
that
Um, um,
it it's so
uh,
evil. I don't know how to explain like
it's an
Texas.
evil school. Like I had like about half my friends that went there turned out to be evil like shitlords. So
Oh,
like
yeah. That's like the same thing with people who go to like Mankato in Minnesota, man, like which is like it's like everybody who I've known who goes to Mankato turns out to be like Hitler. It's such an interesting thing. Like you'd think like St. Cloud State's the one where people are become Hitler. No, you just become an
Yeah.
alcoholic, nonpartisan alcoholic at St. Cloud State. That's what happens there. But you go down to Mankato or Marshall, which is like southwest. It's basically South Dakota and Iowa down there, and like you become Hitler. And I feel like everybody's got one of those. Everybody's got
Well,
a college like that.
yeah, yeah. Is that like, but like for Texas, it's just like, I mean, Texas is an evil state. Like UAE for white people is type.
I see like you joke, but like you go down to the Permian Basin. I mean, that's like basically. I mean, like you go down to the oil areas, and that's basically what's happening.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that's
White people get the fake jobs and with like the weird ass titles, which they sit around and do nothing while they like exploit foreign workers to actually extract oil so they can get
it's
the profits.
well, it's fucked up because there's okay, so essentially, not to get too conspiratorial here, but essentially the Great Replacement is happening in Texas, but it's like a Looney Tunes version of it. Where like the Texas Democrats, they pulled on the migrant lever to get like a bunch of like Democratic voting Hispanics into as like a voter base, but then those Mexicans like ended up like building up enough wealth in order to like become like a class of like ranchers and farmers on their own, and then they like vote Republican, and so like essentially the Republican voters got replaced, and then the
Yeah.
Democrats have to start like recruiting from like the suburbs, and all of a sudden you have a huge contingent of like Vietnamese Republicans in Texas, and like white suburb voters are now starting to vote Democrat more. It's like,
So
what the fuck is happening?
so what you're saying is that the Democrats will become the white party again after like 60 years of them not being the white party. Is this
uh,
what you're is this what you're saying?
uh, to in a little bit yes and a little bit no. Like if I'm being like serious, in that case, I mean the thing is that like. Well,
Well,
no,
well, we're
is
not
that
we're not being
yeah,
serious here
yeah,
though.
but
Yeah.
if we're talking like spiritually, is this what's happening in the vibe shift? Is that like yeah, um, like they're like it's happening, like change is coming to Texas,
Yeah.
change is coming to the world.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's all
uh,
it's because everything's bigger in Texas, Texas is gonna get a lot of change. That's
yeah.
that's what's
Yeah,
happening.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially, line go up, but for like change.
Yeah.
Like nothing ever happens wrong.
Yeah.
Look at my everything graph.
Everything is fucking happening. Now I
Yeah.
feel like nothing ever happens, bros. Lately, I've been like just fucked. They've been absolutely fucked over by everything. Biden dropped
Uh,
out. JD Vance is fucking up. We got like Walls is the VP. What else? I mean, fucking even all the way back in like May, South Africa, ANC got kicked out of their majority. Like shit, things are happening. How do you respond to
uh,
this? How do you respond to this? Is this like a bigger conspiracy to make it seem like things are happening, but actually nothing is still happening? Like what do we think
well,
of that?
I mean, it's dialectical, you see. But like, okay, so essentially, the big thing is that Supreme Leader Soleimani has a big button that says happening. And every single time Israel does something like anything at all, like they have like live news feed, and essentially whole body is like always standing over that button. Like he can
Yeah.
press it, but he has to wait for the material conditions in order to press the something happening
Oh,
button.
so oh no,
Um,
this reminds me of that fucking game on Steam called Death of Stalin, or like something with like Stalin, where like you have to like balance your mouse over the fucking like button or something while like doing all this other shit. That's what's going on with Khomeini right now. That's like what he's
yeah,
doing. It's basically just a fucking like Steam gag game going on in Iran, and we're just waiting for like the person to fail because this player is like really fucking good. So we're just waiting for him to like fail and finally fail, and then 10 million nukes on Israel.
yeah.
That's yeah. But actually, we are halfway through the first half, and I haven't really, for the few people who don't know, can I call you Alex on the pod, or are you
Yeah, yeah,
okay,
no,
Alex? Okay, I wanted to make
everybody.
sure. Okay, cool. Alex, introduce yourself a little bit. I know we kind of like got into our, the bullshit right away, which is fine. But I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe I should introduce you a little. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm the White Maoist. I'm again, is that like I'm often defined as the the wholesome variety.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things about me that like a lot of people don't like really fucking see. And let me tell you, it's so hard pretending to be anything at all. And it's like really I'm like a canvas, a mirror upon people. Like a lot of people listening to this podcast right now probably could see myself like in them. Like they know they're feeling what I'm feeling. Like I'm the voice of the masses.
Did I just let a fucker with narcissism like disorder onto this fucking podcast? Jesus
Uh,
Christ.
no,
Al.
you've went on what's it called? You went on several people with fucking narcissistic personality disorder here. I promise you.
Yeah,
I am
you're probably right on that. There's a few.
I'm like number three here.
Yeah, you're probably at least the third. But no, I get why some of the people, some of these fuckers I've let on, they're all excited. They really want to get on the podcast. It makes them feel important. It's like, holy shit. Even though I have like less fucking followers than them half the time, they're like, oh, it's a fucking podcast. I'm not insulting. I'm insulting my former co-hosts, guests, whatever the fuck you want to call them. I love you. This is just a joke. This is a show. That's just a joke. Don't please come the fuck back on if I invite you back on again. I love you.
Yeah, if I mean you
If
gotta
yeah, yeah,
put some boundaries up.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I'm still no. I'm still in this like constant conflict where like people like want to come back on again already, and I'm just like, we got to give it some time. This is only like what
Yeah, yeah.
episode 7 here. I'm recording. Like you got to wait at least like till episode 10 before
Yeah,
I
you gotta space some things out.
Yeah, and it's like there's a lot of shit I want to do too. Like I got to get like the double guest episode. Like I'm trying to do that next week. I need double guest
Yeah.
episode. But like yeah, no, it's like some people again. It's just the whole narcissism thing. It's so just fucking narcissists, man. Fucking narcissists.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about starting up my own podcast, and it would be like a rival towards yours.
Oh,
And like just the entire time, it's like me doing like a live reaction of your podcast, and then like every time that you would ask the person a question, I would like pause it, and then I would be like answer the question, and then I would like skip forward again, and it's like you're asking me another like so it's like I'm always on the
oh
show.
yeah, yeah. So it's like real like stalker ass shit. That's
I mean,
actually
it's not stalker. I think it's just artistic.
Yeah. No, that's actually what's up. If somebody actually did that, I would just make that like if somebody recorded some stupid shit like that, I would just make that the Patreon bonus episode one week. Is where like if somebody decided to fucking record some shit like that, like, I'm just uploading that to the Patreon and being like, here, somebody did this fucking hour long, well, probably closer to 2 hours because you don't have to pause, answer the question, then go back on. And like, turn it into like that like did the whole bit, like 2 hours worth of editing, bits, all that shit. You would be my Patreon bonus episode that week because like you like fucking listening to an hour of this shit for a bit like that. I respect that. Absolute
Yeah,
respect.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um. So off topic, you don't work. Are you still a pizza boy? Are you still pizza boy? Are you still delivering
No,
pizzas?
I'm the gaming orientalist
Oh,
now.
you're the gaming
That's
orient. You don't.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't deliver
Uh,
pizzas anymore. That's sad.
yeah. No, I mean it was probably like the most fucked up period of my life ever because working for minimum wage sucks. But
Autistic guy gets
yeah,
a job. Fucking worst time ever in his life. That's like.
yeah. I mean, every time a guy, what's it called? Every time a guy like me gets a service job, an angel loses their wings. I'm sorry. It's a terrible thing to happen.
I mean, I guess yeah. I guess it
I
is.
was I was supposed to be like a bohemian intellectual. Like I was supposed to find like a wealthy guy to mooch off of, and like what I do all day is like read books and then sleep, and like that's like really it. That's like what I need to do.
Yeah, you got to
Well, I
find
got
you got to find that out. You got to figure out how to do that. That's an important
yeah.
thing.
I mean that's the like what's it called? I had like a bad computer brain that was like oriented towards like math and everything.
Oh yeah.
Um, and then like being a teenager fixed that and made me like somewhat normal. So now I want to get into like, I mean, obviously is like a pretty big portion of my like studies. I don't like saying studies because it's too much like a sued thing to say, but like is that like I'm super interested in learning about the Middle East. Is that like the
Oh my
politics
God.
and what's it called, and like general examination. So I'm pursuing a double major in history and political science,
Oh jeez.
and it's kind of snore work to be honest. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, at the end of the
It's
day, a lot of like political like shit is rooted in historical context and
yeah.
conditions. So
I
it's
think
sort of
getting a
hand in
gender
hand.
studies degree would be harder than this.
Oh, probably, because gender studies is like no, I've actually like gender studies is actually a very complex and serious thing, and like the conservatives who ripped on it are
Yeah,
so fucking stupid because they just don't understand it. It's like genuinely advanced shit, and like
yeah,
it's just like yeah, they're woke chud or not. Well, why did I just say woke chud? What the? That's me. That's me and Evelyn. That
yeah.
or but no,
That's,
but their chud brains can't comprehend that shit. They can't comprehend like the most basic terms of like, hey, women are people too, but they also have their own issues due to like their historical like oppression. And they're like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What does that mean? Does that mean they're gonna like turn my kids gay? That's what they think. That's all they think gender studies is. It just turns kids gay. I wish it was the
yeah,
case, but it's not. You know.
yeah. I wish there was a button to just, like, yeah, like if woke schools were like a real thing, I would be placing them everywhere. I would be like, get that shit. Like, we need to institutionalize
Yeah,
that.
five woke schools in Tyler, Texas immediately. Like,
Yeah, no.
like
Wait,
We will turn Tyler into the woke liberal paradise of dreams when we get
we're
five woke
essentially,
schools.
yeah, we're gonna fucking turn like the entire Great Plains into like fucking Kazakhstan
Oh
during
yeah.
during the fucking Soviet
Yeah,
years.
yeah,
Like,
that's what's up. That's what's up. And we're gonna build no, we gotta build like a big and then we gotta do the thing where like we build a big ass space station like just outside of like say like fucking I don't know, Lincoln, Nebraska. Or like
yeah,
Wichita, Kansas. Because that's what they were doing in Kazakhstan too. I feel like Wichita would be so much cooler if it had a big ass fucking space station. Like that'd be cool as shit. I mean,
yeah. I mean, they
not
need something out
yeah,
there.
there's nothing going on out there. But you get a space station, and not one of the stupid spaces. You got to get a NASA one, but get a
Yeah,
NASA
you gotta
space
get an ass on
station,
it.
And like Wichita would become cool as shit. I'd go to Wichita if they had a big ass space station. I'd be like,
Yeah.
I'd like probably like just drink beer all day and watch fucking rockets go off. Like that's cool as shit. That's cool as shit. Um, but though though I will say sometimes wokeness has gone too far because somebody unironically said I had aura on the train a few days ago, and I fucking hated that. Like I understand it was a compliment, but like don't fucking call it aura. You know?
I mean, like, I don't know. I understand all love. I mean, I think if somebody said I had a war on the train, I would say thank you. I think you're looking at it in too much of a negative light.
I mean, I said thank you because I'm not a dickwad. But like, I don't know. It's more I have this sort of I have this boomer mentality towards certain things. A lot of things
Certainly.
actually. A lot of things, 90% of things actually. Um but like what like aura and like Riz. It's like shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Riz is okay. Aura I could accept a little bit more, but if somebody unironically went up to me and said like, "Oh, yo, you got like high Riz," I'd fucking sucker punch them. Cuz that's fucking stupid. I think Riz is one of the worst words ever made. Ever
I
besides smegma. Smegma is probably like the worst word ever
I mean,
made.
I don't think you need to
I
spell it out from them. I don't think you need to say it.
no, I'm gonna say it.
But
I'm gonna say it.
uh,
I'm gonna say it. This is
I mean, the thing the thing is though is that like you gotta remove that part of yourself because you're supposed to remove that part of yourself when you're like 16, where you're like the cringe new words. Like you gotta like chill out
okay,
with
okay,
it.
okay. Think of it this way, though, for me. I didn't get to have a normal teenage life because I was a repressed troon, okay? Like,
Blah blah blah. Yeah,
well, yeah,
whatever.
I'm so, it's sort of like, it's coming out now, that it's manifesting now.
I like
And,
sucks though. That's
I mean,
terrible. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I know, I'm a terrible human being. I'm not a wholesome
No,
person.
I mean,
You're not, you're
Morgan,
questioning
Morgan,
yourself.
Morgan. Hashtag things will get better. I don't know how to tell you this. Love wins always. I mean,
Uh,
that's the thing.
I
Is
mean,
that
I guess you're right. Love does. No, yeah. I don't know. I guess
I
you say love would. I unironically still have the brain worms. Like when I see like gay people on the street, not like I like in a homophobic way. I'm just like, holy shit, fucking gay people are real. They're not just on like the internet. Like I genuinely have those brain worms still. Like I've been living in a city for over 3 years now, and whenever I see like a real life like gay person or a trans person, I'm just like, holy fucking shit, they're fucking real.
I
What
mean,
the
I kind
fuck?
of get that.
You get that too? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I
But like, not like. I mean, typically because they're like pretty well dressed
I mean,
most of the time.
I suppose, yeah. Most gay people. I'm not very well
Uh,
dressed, but
like,
other people are.
I
You
mean,
know?
neither am I.
Yeah.
I've only recently like gone like some pieces that I like.
You know
Like
what? You know what you should get though. You should get the cat Wojak that kind of looks like you. Get that on a
it,
T-shirt and wear that around.
I,
Did you?
I need a good find a like good phrase to put on the shirt.
Yeah.
You know
Well.
about with like say the line to this ball jacket. It's
Yeah.
like he's
Say,
uh,
yeah, and then it's Well, I mean, I made up the line. It's meowbophilia, actually. That's the line I made up for
well, I
it.
didn't like that. That's not okay. That's not cool. That's not fucking. That's not something you joke about. Okay, that's sick. That's a
it,
sick thing to say.
it was a
Listen,
sick.
why?
Yeah, it was kind of sick. I'm not
It
gonna lie.
was
Okay,
sick. It was.
I wasn't. That was separated from the fact it looks like you. It was a different context. It wasn't
I.
related to you. It was a
I
different.
know. I just don't think things are like. I'm not blaming you. Is that things got to change? Is that the world has to progress past the jokes about pedophilia? Like it's old news. It's
It's
like
all
the pedo
okay.
bear. It's
Okay.
it's
What what
it's
what
it's
should we
like
what should we joke about now then? Like, what do you think we should joke about?
um
Well, actually, we'll figure that out after we get back after the break. It's been about a half hour, and you know me,
what
chronic tobacco addict. So I'll be back with right after I fucking go for the smoke. You're not gonna notice shit because I'm editing it out. But we'll
yeah,
be
I'm
right.
gonna know because I'm a real fucking person.
Yeah. Alex has
I'm
to fucking deal
real.
with it. Yeah, he's real as shit. None of my viewers are real or listeners. Fuck. So we were talking about white Maoism, earlier, or a little earlier, about like 10, 15 minutes ago or some shit. But I unironically met a white dangist once, like fucking white dangist ass shit, like specifically dangist. And I'm like, I sort of get it. I don't know. It's like,
Yeah, his name's Klaus Schwab.
well, I mean, yeah, oh,
I
no,
I
no, no,
uh, I
no.
feel like
This is a different like British guy I knew who was specifically a white dangist, which is interesting too, because like, you think a British guy would be more pissy at like dang, if anything, but
I mean, okay, see, the thing is that, like, honestly, like, White Dangest is probably, like, more common than White Malice, if I'm being real.
well,
Is,
I guess, I guess to a certain extent, but like, I don't know. Like, this guy is like openly talking about how great Dang is, and he's like, oh, Mao kind of fucking sucked, but Dang was the shit. You don't see many white guys specifically doing that.
well, okay, because, like, the specific type of guy that I know would be doing that is, like, some, like, yuppie white, like, intelligentsia member that went to fucking George Washington University. Like the classic ET type of guy is that, like, oh yeah, I don't really care about like any of the actual quote unquote like liberty stuff about neoliberalism. I just like when number go up,
I mean, yeah,
type of deal.
yeah. I guess a lot of guys do exist like that. They just don't
The
like.
issue with those types of guys is typically they're massive racists,
Oh
so
yeah,
they hate Dangism because Dang was
was
Chinese.
yeah. But like, I don't know, like, I don't know this, because like this guy I'm also talking about, he's like, it's like a weird manifestation, because like he also is like he's a big social progressive too, and like but he's also just really into like dangest China and like the government structure, the economics of it all. But he's also like still like a communist kind of person too. I don't like he actually manifests like the LARP of like dang. And I just you don't see that a lot, that explicit
Yeah, I
of
would
the
say
LARP.
like from a decently left wing angle, I don't no you don't see a lot of Dang art unless you're like a modern China shooter,
Yeah, and
which
but
is
yeah,
which
this
is
guy is like he's kind of like a modern China shooter.
I'm
Um
I'm I'm kind of low-key a modern China
oh,
shooter,
no,
just
I
like a
am
little
too.
bit.
Yeah.
Like I'm certainly not as like hawkish when it comes to like campism, but when it comes to like I guess with the general like multipolarity world, which like quote unquote power. I fucking this is such a fucking IR way to sound it off. Is like essentially is that like Russia's like actually doing like fascism death of an empire type of shit and
Yeah.
like sucks fucking Iran's like a fundamental theocracy, and China's a state capitalist, like rapidly like kind of reaching that the industrialization peak type of
Yeah.
deal, and like. if I would rather like be under like anything, I would much rather be under like again. Is that like sorry to be an Orientalist on the podcast, but
No, it's fine. It's fine.
is that like I would rather be I'd rather be Chinese. I would say that quite proudly is between
Yeah.
being like Russia, like again amongst like the BRICS members, be Brazilian too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I could do that
You know,
too,
yeah, I
but
mean, if you think about it actually a little bit too, Lula's kind of like a Dangest light type figure, in certain
um,
aspects. In certain aspects, anyway.
I'm not like a huge like. Again, it's that like I'm certainly not the most like knowledgeable person when it comes to like Brazilian politics. Although I do like Lula. He's pretty
Well,
interesting. Although
I,
I would say like
I,
exactly
yeah,
thing.
not
I
exactly, but like Lula is able to get all the working class cred still, despite doing like privatization shit. Like like
To a degree, yeah.
yeah,
Like, but like with Brazil, it's like base because it's that like corruption's like a cool thing,
oh yeah,
and essentially like selling shit to your like own like essentially selling it to your own like cronies to like, but like making sure to keep like an eye on your cronies type of deal. Like
yeah.
I don't know, like a managed like a managed corporocracy. You know,
Yeah,
it's chill.
yeah, it's chill.
Yeah.
Only one other place has achieved such success with managed corporatocracy. That's right, it's fucking Chicago. I need to bring back Chicago corruption. We're not corrupt enough anymore here. We did too much purging of the corruption. I need more of that again. Brandon Johnson doesn't have the sauce to be corrupted. To like he needs to call up the pipe fitters unions and start being like, I'm gonna give you all so many fucking contracts if you donate to my political campaign. I need to start like I need them to start bringing back those like civil service jobs where you're not actually doing anything. They just kind of exist because you supported the right candidate. And like
Yeah. No,
I
I want like FDR like you're digging a ditch
yeah
and then like filling it back up again for like fucking like $20 an hour
yeah
type of deal jobs.
yeah and like or like yeah you're at $20 an hour. You're provided a house by the state. You're getting like health care. You're getting everything. Even if the wages aren't like $20 an hour is still pretty low nowadays. But like you're still getting all these like fucking benefits for just digging a hole and then refilling it. Like I want
Yeah,
more of
yeah.
that. You know,
Like like you get like an insane pension fund after like 20 years of working within federal labor. I mean, it's the
yeah,
same thing with doing like any form of like I know if you're employed by like the federal like mail office, if you do 20 years, you get like the same benefits veterans do and
yeah,
everything, and the two transfer over. It needs to be the same shit with that. Is that like yeah, just like randomly planting trees in the middle of fucking San Francisco should like
yeah,
give you like towards like big bucks pension. We need more of a welfare state in America.
yeah,
We need like a massive like Soviet like bureaucracy in
yes,
America. It's
yes,
like you know how like Vivek on the primaries was like we're gonna randomly generate a number and kill whatever like elected bureaucrat has that number.
yeah.
Um,
You want
like
to?
slash like the number of government jobs in half. No, we're gonna do the opposite. Double the government jobs.
Yeah,
The issue with the government is it's not hiring enough.
yes.
Um,
Everybody who like bitches about government inefficiencies, like we gotta size down the government. Like that's not where the problems are coming from. The problem is we need more bloat. We need more
yeah,
staffing. We need more irrelevant jobs because then like we could make getting a driver's license the easiest fucking thing in the world right now if we
yeah,
just like doubled the amount of DMV guys we hired. You know, Like Social Security, like we wouldn't have all the issues with people not getting their checks if we like just doubled the guys who are responsible for it. And yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, sure, maybe some of the jobs might be a little irrelevant, but who cares? Because we're getting shit done. That's what America's about. Is it's not about this efficiency and innovation thing. It's about being lazy pieces of shit who hire a fuck ton of people to make things comfortable.
Yeah.
That's what we need. You know, we are the hamburger nation, but we aren't run like the hamburger nation. That's like
Yeah. No, we need to be essentially is that like again, we need to go to like fucking
like
World War II like manufacturing like essentially everybody like instead of like oh we're doing automatic like atomized like building of like ships and everything like assembly line shit we're gonna do that with burgers but like
yes.
as like a like essentially is that the burger represents a symbol of strength for the Anglo-American
Exactly.
culture
We need to,
it is
yeah, and you know what? We nationalize McDonald's and then like run it at a loss so people stop bitching about DoorDash prices for McDonald's
yeah
then too.
no
I mean, okay,
uh
no, we'll end DoorDash, but we'll make cheap
well
burgers again. We'll make
no
like
okay okay no we're not banning DoorDash in fact I think what we need to make the how we make the American economy shaped into a burger is essentially we're gonna make everybody's gonna be a DoorDasher.
okay,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if what type of job they have or like what type of like business they're in or if they're a virtual or an office worker or whatever. But they're just going to be driving cars everywhere. Essentially, is that
yeah.
you just got to make
Well,
deliveries
okay,
and
okay.
you
What,
got
what about what about people who don't have cars though, like me? Like, are we like we'll do the bike DoorDash thing? You can have us do the bike DoorDash thing,
um
or are you gonna just give us a car? Flat out give us a
no,
car.
you'll yeah, everybody gets a car.
Okay, everybody gets a
We're
car now. Okay.
yeah, we're just gonna essentially also another type of job in this world is like uh slave ditch worker
Slave.
uh to like build like the world's busiest roads
Okay. No.
but
Hear me out. Everybody's a DoorDash driver, so a lot more wrappers are being produced for the McDonald's. But what we do then is we hire a bunch of guys to dig holes to put all the McDonald's wrappers in, and then fill them back up, and then we can go back to that era too. Just fill the ground with fucking McDonald's wrappers because we've already climate nuked. Climate death is
yeah
coming soon enough. So
yeah
we might as well just embrace it at this point. Fucking
yeah
yeah.
essentially is yeah like none of this I don't care about that climate change shit
Yeah.
is essentially yeah so everybody essentially everything's drive through everything's wireless everything's Bluetooth everything is faceless it's so you every COVID-19 no more COVID-19 um and everybody wears masks still though
Okay. Yeah.
and essentially everybody's doing the DoorDash deliveries. They're driving in cars and like essentially everybody has a job where they're all driving in cars. And eventually they'll all become self-automated, so you could play on your phone and tweet shit
Oh yeah.
while you're driving, but
Yeah,
you
and then
still
and
need
then
to
we'll
be
and then we'll
there.
also have the screens of the cars, and they'll just constantly be playing Subway Surfers while we're
Or
at it too.
Family Guy, or
Yeah, yeah.
like
Or one of
satisfying
yeah,
videos,
or one of
or
those,
like
or one of the like the shitty CBS dramas. Anything along the lines. The new one I've seen recently is George Lopez. Been getting a lot of George Lopez appearing on my
that's
TikTok
really
feed.
interesting.
Yeah, I have this like when it's like fucking 2 a.m. too. I have this like guilty pleasure where I'll just start watching it because I'm like tired as shit. So my brain's like, which my
To
brain
be
already doesn't
honest,
work. But I'll just
that's the best time to watch George Lopez. It
yeah.
just is.
I mean
It's
yeah.
like
I mean
waking up in the middle of night, George Lopez on TV, and you're
yeah
like,
yeah
"Holy shit, that guy's my dad,
yeah yeah. I feel like we'd have
the
less like
Mexican father I never
yeah.
had."
I feel like we'd have less issues with like masculinity and fatherhood in America if we just had every kid watch George Lopez. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, like
Yeah.
that's how we solve the masculinity crisis in America. It's not Andrew Tate who's gonna fix it. It's not gonna be everybody becoming woke. It's just gonna become like the George Lopez show. Like that's how we fix it.
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe
the way is that we just like we gotta get everybody Reddit pilled. We gotta get everybody like everybody has to start using Reddit, and
no. See,
they have to scroll through r/wholesome, and they have to watch the like 90s like uh comedies, but like they turn serious, like in like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, where
yeah,
fucking Will's dad leaves him again,
yeah,
and Will gets emotional,
yeah.
and everybody in the comment sections like, oh, my dad left out on me, and this scene made me feel like feel understood as a kid and type of thing. Is that like we need to like start doing that as like a nation? Is we just gotta like
Yeah,
fill the nation with like a wholesome slop,
I guess
instead of
instead of I don't know,
what's
serious,
it
actual
called?
thought-provoking material.
Yeah, no, okay, because I want to talk about a little theory that I have, and I don't know if it's
Uh,
uh is because we're running out of time on this, but
well, we still
I
got
do.
like 15 minutes here. We can,
Yes. Oh, yeah. Right.
yeah,
We did take that 15-minute break. Okay.
yeah.
So yeah,
So
I guess I'll talk about it on here. Is like for the remaining 15 minutes is essentially the chud cause here.
okay. Oh, what? Yeah. Where do you think chuds? Where do you think
Is
like? Cause I'm like a woke chud.
uh
Where do you think like?
yeah. Well, okay. See, is that uh like every person, every at least uh to a certain degree, is that every person has the ability to be a chud. Is that it doesn't matter what type of person, it's just like you have the ability to do it. Some people, especially though, are kind of meant to be, a bit chuddy, and are kind of specifically built towards that. And it's typically people that are, is socially outcast, super online,
Yeah, like me.
like socially, yeah, very socially isolated, typically white, nerdy, teenagers type of deal. It's
You're describing me to a T here. Well, besides the teenager
yeah.
part, but like pretty much describing me to a T. That's why I cut like I'm kind of a chud. But
Well,
yeah,
yeah, exactly. I'm kind of a chud myself. Is that
yeah,
like, and this kind of running theory that I've developed here is like essentially civilizational like suicide death drive thing they have going on.
yeah,
It's super interesting because of the idea. Like essentially, is that these guys are kind of circling around being just these really really angry type of guys. It doesn't really
yeah.
matter what like they're like mad at. It's just like
They're
whether you want to be
angry.
a mad, yeah. Is that like I don't like this thing, and I'm not gonna tell you why. I just don't like it because it's new and it's foreign, and I have autism and I don't like change. And it becomes almost an object of obsession for them, and as such, there's a lot of mental, like just like tumors that begin to form essentially of
Yeah,
these
these people get
uh
brain cancer,
yeah
essentially brain cancer. Yeah,
yeah. And the thing is that it's just this like essentially is this self like hate filled like spiel that is completely unwarranted because most of these guys, most of the bar guys, are like typically white middle class, like they're like social like awkward, but they're not like like it's entirely self-inflicted for the most part
Yeah.
on a lot of guys, and it's like about like seeing the hacking West collapse. You know, it's coming to an end. About you know, it's like seriously, is that like so disenfranchised from reality and so disillusioned and so I've talked about this before about like how it kind of played into the whole entire like Trump victory in 2016
Yeah.
and that kind of being like the essentially the chuds like coming of Christ.
Yeah, it's the chuds rising up, basically. You know,
Yeah, no, everybody, people will be Googling in some black pill ideology tonight.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um, and for a little bit it was, and then, what's it called? Is that like the thing is that Donald J. Like again, it was entirely self-delusioned, type of shit. Is that like it was like legitimately like a fucking Andrew Garfield, how he got fucking assassinated
yeah,
is because the guy thought he did it to fucking what's it called? Like a guy thought he was supporting a candidate, whatever. He was just like a fucking crazed wacko,
yeah,
and thought he actually got him the position, and he owed him like a job, and then whenever he told him to piss off, he shot him.
yeah.
It's the same fucking thing with Donald J. Trump. I mean, look what fucking happened to him. Poisoned the well with his betrayed like a Caesar by his own fucking chuddy Brutus. Like, like that's the thing about like the psychology of these guys is that it's so pathetically angry of being so unimportant and so worthless with their lives of like essentially is that there's just this general civilization like death spiral with these guys of like essentially to save the white race and to be in order to do all this whack job shit, you know, like whatever their self delusion brains tell them, they're like, I have to shoot up a Walmart.
Yeah,
Like it's time to get back at my local Walmart. It's
yeah.
time to get back. Like again, it's not even like it's delusional. I mean, these guys are like terrorists. Like they
Oh
like
yeah.
easy to say is that it's so spewed on by like nonsense, and it's never like never like a like coordinated thing because of how like atomized these guys are. They're so in their fucking like poisoned by individuality, where they're like, I'm the only person on Earth, and I'm clearly the person who's most important, and like my needs come first above everybody else, and because of that, I'm going to be like belligerent.
Yeah.
Um,
But like how do we solve this? Like this is just cuz like this is all making sense, you
yeah,
know? But like you know, cuz I know we were like, you know, we are talking about George Lopez, and I think George Lopez is a great role model for young
yeah.
men. But like how do we truly solve this besides like flat out just, you know, labor camps? Cuz like labor camps would probably be a good solution for this. You know, it gets out all their frustration on like, you know, mining rocks and like, you know, hard labor.
Yeah,
Um
well, okay. The thing is, for me, is that pretty much it's very simple. That hashtag kill them all.
oh, oh, okay.
But I mean, like, obviously, it's just like, I mean, at a certain point, like, you kind of have to see these people as like a danger to themselves and others, and like you need to like forcibly institutionalize them type of deal.
Yeah.
In a polite society, I would say is that like uh I mean the long term solution here, I feel like, is like essentially just like a
Force
part of it is community.
yeah.
But that's like the woke answer.
Yeah,
Uh, I, I'm
I need the real like the funny
uh
answer. Like your
the
funny
the real funny answer is like take away internet access.
I mean
Like the state should like the nanny state should take away your internet type of deal sometimes.
yeah, yeah, maybe you're right.
No, Chuddy, you spent too much time on 4chud. You can't type anymore. You can't. You're gonna have to watch 8 hours of educational videos before you can get back on.
Yeah.
Um,
But this, yeah, I mean, I feel like it'd be good for a lot. It'd be very good having a system like that for trans women as well,
a
because
little bit, yeah,
I mean, specifically, like I am still getting over the 4chan LGBT brainworms. You know, that's it's still a work in progress for me. Sometimes it comes out more still, but like, you know, like if you're like a 16-year-old like repressed trans woman, like that, like you should not be allowed over there because that's gonna ruin you. That's gonna turn you into a
yeah.
woke chud. Like that's what's gonna happen. And
I
you know,
mean, the thing is, though, is that like you just gotta let go.
yeah, I think that's the piece of self-help advice today. This is the piece.
Yeah.
Is sometimes you just gotta let go. You know,
Yeah,
if you're like if
they're
you think
not
the
16 anymore.
yeah, like if the world's against you, you think the world's against you because you're a white man, but really you're just kind of a socially isolated nerd. You just gotta let go. You gotta like go outside, maybe like
Yeah,
you know
transition.
yeah, transition too. Um, yeah, Alex,
Um,
what are we thinking of the timeline for you transitioning? Like a year, two
uh,
years? How
if
many years?
uh, it kind of depends, you know.
Oh,
If my
okay.
boyfriend breaks up with me, then it's
Oh,
like
it's happening.
yeah,
Hashtag
it's
it's
happening.
happening. Okay.
But I'm not planning for that because I love my
Yeah.
boyfriend dearly,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to be broken up with him. So, I mean, that's kind of the determining factor.
Okay. I guess. Yeah. Well.
Because all of my boyfriend's exes have been trans women, and
Yeah.
they were not trans women. I mean, some of them were, but is that like most of them became like transitioned after they stopped dating my boyfriend Angel. I mean,
Yeah.
it just happens. But so far, I mean, the fact that I've spent 3 good years with him means that maybe I'm breaking the cycle.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Maybe
but
you'll be the first like cis
I
man.
feel like I am first cis man ever
Yeah.
to
You're.
date a female to male transgender.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. No. I'm proud of you for that. That's it's hard
yeah,
to be such a ground.
first what's it called? First gay guy to date.
You're actually the first gay guy ever. That's
Yeah,
actually the fun
I've
fact here. Alex
yeah,
is the first gay guy ever. There's been no gay guys ever before Alex. Alex invented that shit back in like what 2017 or some shit, you know?
yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
so he invented that shit.
I was the Reddit bisexual, but like
Yeah.
also I wanted to date a guy in my class in high school.
Yeah, that's cool.
Uh,
It's cool. But anywho, we are hitting the near end of the episode here. So first of all, thank you for coming on.
yeah, fuck
You
all my haters.
yeah, to the 30 like 7% or so who didn't want Alex on.
Yeah, which is
Go
like fucking like 20 people, by the way.
yeah,
That's like
yeah.
everybody.
That's a
There's an anti-wholesome specter on
yeah,
my
there's
timeline.
there's some like hating smellers out there, you
Yeah,
know.
it's just terrible.
Yeah.
The
But
economy's terrible.
yeah. But anywho, is there anything you'd like to promote before, we head off here for the
Um, yeah, a couple of things.
okay.
One, follow my twitter.com. You guys already fucking know it. Two, uh, hey, my boyfriend at Rice Milk replaced the eyes with X's. Pay him money to draw whatever the fuck he wants. He's a good artist.
He is a good artist. I'm
He
gonna
is,
vouch for that. Very good
yeah.
artist.
He's done a ton of doodles for Squirrels and people and yada yada. I mean, it's chill. And number 3, I just want to let you know, God, fuck you. I'm doing a middle finger right now.
That's no, I respect that. I respect that. That's really hard to do in Texas. You know, you'll get killed. But yeah, so that's it for the people who don't pay me to do this shit. But for the people who do pay me to do this shit, as always, check out Patreon. You get another half hour of this. We're gonna have Alex on for another half hour. Probably just talking more about chud shit. Probably, I don't know. Fuck, that's what's gonna happen. But thank you so much for listening, as always. You'll see me post some deranged shit on Twitter again soon. But if you're a Patreon subscriber, see you on the Patreon episode. If not, see you next week. Have a good day, night, whenever the fuck you're listening to this.